Don't sit under the apple tree with anyone else but me. Anyone else but me. Anyone else but me. No, no, no. Don't sit under the apple tree with anyone else but me. Well, hey there, everybody. My name's Johnny Appleseed. I lived in Indiana 200 years ago, but I'm from Leominster, Massachusetts. What's that? How'd I get from point A in Massachusetts to point B in Indiana? Well, I walked. I walked over 700 miles to get here. You know, back in my time, it was a lot harder getting around than it is now. You know, there's so many different ways for you guys to get around these days. Have you ever thought of it? Jumping Jehoshaphat! I thought of 15 different ways for people getting around. You got boats, you got planes, you got canoes, you got cars, you got spaceships. Hey, why don't I tell you guys all about the different ways people can get around and some famous Hoosiers that lived here over 200 years ago. On from footsteps to flight. So, how did I get here? You guessed it, I walked. Walking is the first form of transportation. Walking's been around since people were people. All you need is feet. I walked and walked and walked and walked and walked and walked, and then I walked some more. I walked over mountains. I walked over streams. I walked over rivers. And along the way, I planted apple trees. You see, when I was a little boy, my daddy taught me how to plant apple trees. You know, apple trees are raised in a nursery. You guys know what a nursery is? No, that's not a nursery. A nursery is a group of apple trees. I planted thousands of apple trees along the way and probably wrote thousands of apple jokes. Here's one. What do you call an apple with a suntan? Apple crisp. Do you know there's over 2,500 different kinds of apples? You've got Granny Smith. You have Macintosh. You have pineapple. By now I see you're looking at my bare feet. You see, I don't believe in shoes. Speaking of shoes, there's a pretty famous pair of shoes that were from a basketball player from Brown County, Indiana, called Chuck Taylor's. You probably heard of them. You know, they sold over 600 million pairs of these. I'm impressed, and that's coming from a guy that doesn't wear shoes. Hey, I hope to see you next time on From Footsteps to Flight. How do they get these things to work? So itchy.